Okay, I think we're live. Hey guys, it's Danny Rukin, and we're at the Oregon Zoo because, for those of you who don't know, Packy, who is a 54-year-old elephant who's been at the Oregon Zoo, born and bred here, forcefully bred here in order to be a moneymaker as a little baby elephant. So he just was euthanized. The zoo just put him to sleep a few days ago. And the reason we're here is put him to sleep is not exactly the right word for it. It's actually called euthanasia. It's when they euthanize elephants or any kind of captive animal, lions, giraffes, polar bears, when they're no longer useful. They consider them like surplus. And Packy was no longer useful. They forcefully bred him here in the early 60s. He was a big draw. He was the cutest little baby, and they made a lot of money. But over the years, when he wasn't such a draw, he just became an expense. So I'm here because there's some very, very important people here who are just here to really, really be a voice for what happened. And also, this zoo is known. It's one of the top. It makes the list of one of the top 10 worst zoos, and which is really interesting because I don't know if you can see, but it's actually a gorgeous zoo. I mean, like, you go in here. And you go in here, and I'm going to start talking to people, but you go into this zoo, and the landscape is gorgeous. So if you're a person, then you're going to have a great time because it just looks gorgeous and beautiful. But if you're an animal, it's not so fun because they're the ones who are behind the bars or in the enclosures. No, it's fine. In the enclosures, and they're the ones who have to live this miserable, miserable life so that people can have just a few seconds, a few minutes of pleasure. And as many of us know, especially now with the internet, there's so many ways to learn about animals in their natural habitat. And if the zoos really cared about the animals, they would give their money to organizations that are preserving natural habitats and also sanctuaries, nonprofits that are caring for them. They don't make any money off of exhibiting, selling, or breeding the elephants. And that's another reason why everybody's out here. You guys, I'm just gonna, in 1 second, we're live. So another reason we're out here is because there's a very aggressive breeding program with this zoo. So now that they've gotten rid of Packy because he was such a liability, they're gonna start breeding more elephants. And we're here to say, no, stop it. So here we go. I want you guys to see some of the great. So here we go. The sun. I'm learning, but here you can see, I'm just going to do a little span. Thank you guys for being out here. Hey, Michelle. Awesome. Thank you. And I'm going to come and talk to you guys in a minute, but I just want to give people a feel for, and here's the thing is, you know, people come here and they just want to see they want to see the animals, but unfortunately they don't want to know what the animals have to go through in order for them to visit them. But I understand. I think we all understand. We want to connect with the animals. But if you really want to connect with the animals, then have some compassion and imagine if you were inside the zoo, would you want it to be you? Okay, so hey guys, hi. And I know this isn't a happy time, but I just want to ask you guys, hey Bomi, how's it going?
Good.
Yes, we have to show. How do you say his name again? Yanni. And
Yanni goes over there?
And it's a he, right?
Oh, okay.
It's a she, okay. She is, tell us just in just a few words where she comes from.
Oh, she came from a Korean dog meat farm that was also a puppy mill.
Yes.
And so she's about 6 years old. I think she was used for breeding.
Yes.
And I've had her for about 3-4 months.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
You've rescued her. And
Yeah.
why are you out here?
Because I think people need to be aware that no matter how nice a zoo is and it looks so inviting, that this is nothing more than a prison for animals. You know, and how would we feel no matter how much we're catered to be poked and prodded and told where to go? And
yes.
So these animals are wild and they roam for hundreds of miles and have their own ways of living and communicating with each other.
And mating and choosing their friends. And the bull hooks are still used here at the zoo.
Yeah, they still use bull hooks to, you know, move them around, and pretty much they're at the human's bidding and not.
Right. You can't move a 1-ton animal around without having had it submit to very, very intense training.
And the breeding is just unnecessary. If you want to, you know, run a sanctuary, that's fine, but this is not no sanctuary for animals.
Thank you so much, Bomi. Thank you for being out here and
course.
being a voice. One last shot of this little cutie pie. Okay, hey Bala,
Oh, hi, Dan.
how's it going?
Good, good. I think Jan covered pretty much everything I wanted to say, really.
What else would you say? Because you know you've been doing this for so long for the Oregon Zoo, and you want to say a little bit about Packy, because I haven't actually said the specifics. I said a little bit, but you can say what you think people should know.
Oh, no, just that Packy has never stepped outside of the zoo. And that's if for the zoo takes pride in saying that he's been here since the Kennedy administration. And that's not something to be proud of.
Right.
Because from all it means is since Kennedy's administration, he's suffered here. He was never able to step foot on a pasture, which wild elephants take for granted. He got tuberculosis, which wild elephants never get. And he had to be euthanized, and he wasn't given a proper chance to live his full life.
That's right, and he was, yes. Thank you for mentioning that. And you know, when I went to the Oregon Zoo page a few days ago when Packy was killed, also there's no transparency or accountability, because Packy was, we couldn't get any information at all, pretty much at all, from the zoo for the last couple of years about his condition.
That's right. The zoo and Oregon Metro, which manages it, they have been very reluctant to release any information, even though it's public. It's funded by public, so public have every right to know. But when you ask, they give ridiculous quotes, or running few tens of thousands of dollars, even for simple veterinary records. So that makes it very hard for the public to scrutinize what the zoo is doing, and this lack of transparency gives them full freedom to do whatever they please.
That's well said. And then the other thing I noticed, so after Packy was euthanized, I went to the Oregon Zoo page, and I don't know if anybody else noticed, but I noticed that all these people who love the zoo were so saddened to hear about Packy, and they were just like, I remember when, and Packy this, and my childhood, and as if he was like their little baby brother, and yet they haven't maybe seen him in 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years, right?
Yeah.
And yet they were so distraught, but yet they had not, how do you, you know what I'm trying to say,
No,
right?
I get exactly. I mean, I think it's very cynical of the zoo to abuse the compassion that people have for animals, to make them seem like pets, whereas these are exotic animals. They are not pets. And people are made to believe that just because Packy was born in captivity,
Yes.
he's no different from a dog or cat who's born in captivity. But that's not true at all.
Right.
And that's the cynical play by the zoo, where they try to get you
Manipulate.
emotionally hooked.
Right, off of people's natural tendency toward compassion. And zoos are nothing more than a money maker. They could be putting their money into preserving their natural habitat, non-profit sanctuaries. They could be doing so much more. Thanks a lot, Bala, for
Thank
being
you,
here
Danny.
and being a voice for the animals, and today the elephants and all the animals in the zoo. And hey there, I just thank you for being out here. Is there anything you want to say, Nancy?
No, Cherry. Nancy's over there.
Oh, Cherry, I'm sorry,
That's okay.
Cherry.
You got a lot to do.
Yeah. Anything you'd like to say?
Just that animals do not belong in a zoo.
Yes.
It is not their natural habitat.
No.
And they should all be free. And we should educate ourselves a little better than what we do. And
That's a good point. We should educate ourselves more.
That is, you know.
So that we can make informed choices.
Well, we're taught from the time we're very young that zoos are a wonderful place for children to see animals
Yes.
that they would never see otherwise.
Yes.
Well, we don't need to see everything that's on this world.
That's
you know.
right. And we can now see it on the internet and enjoy it, and then and learn about it that way. And there's so many creative ways zoos could be putting their money into closing down the captivity and the imprisonment, and putting into place programs where they go visit animals in their natural habitat. I mean, there's just so many ways that we could be doing this differently. Hey guys, how you doing? I just want to say that again. Sorry about that. Silence is the voice of complicity. And so, hey guys, do you want to say a little bit about why you're here? First, we'll just say hi to you.
Yeah, hi. My name's Brandy.
Hi, Brandy.
I am here because I am very against animal cruelty, and I don't think that animals deserve to be in any zoos or any form of captivity. It's not right. They deserve to be in the wild and free and
Yes.
not taken away from their family and raped constantly.
That's right. You know, so yeah, you're bringing up the issue of rape. So Packy was actually, they have rape racks here, and this with their forced breeding program, and Packy has actually been forced to, two of his sisters, they had him breed, I don't know what you call it, sire. They basically, his sisters were on the rape racks and he was the bull, if you know what I'm saying. So this is not, it's just disgusting, and they plan on replacing. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, and hey there, how's it going?
Good.
Tell me your name and where you're at.
Yeah, my name's Martha.
Hey Martha.
And